See my ugly mush. Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm from Movie Burner Entertainment. As you would be aware of if you've already been in the chat before here on a Friday, just adjusting my camera just slightly. Not prepared at all here. But in regards to obviously what we're going to be talking about today, we are going to be talking about 3 more web series reactions coming to the channel very shortly. Now, if you have been following the channel and you are a subscriber to the channel, you will know that we are in the midst of recording a class. We had a few issues with this, of course, where we recorded the first episode, and then after that we couldn't get it through. Netflix kept blocking it, so we had to put it on hold. So there was only one episode of that ever recorded. We have now moved on to episode 2 of class, and we have got that in the can, and John is working on it to get that uploaded as soon as possible for the weekend. So that will probably be a weekend thing. We'll record that every midweek and put it out there every Saturday or Sunday perhaps, but we'll have to see. So that's one of the series that we're going to be checking out. But before we move on, if you were watching us earlier, you would have seen our season finale reaction of Aspirants, which we have just concluded today. Obviously it was pre-recorded, we weren't doing it live or anything like that because you're not allowed to do that on YouTube. But yeah, before we move on to our other 2 shows that we're going to be reacting to for next week, just want to talk about Aspirants for a little while here, because I've been reading the comments all week, been responding to as many as possible. This is the double-edged sword of having more subscribers and a bigger community, is try to respond to everyone as quickly as possible. Because we do appreciate the comments and we do like responding to you guys, and we like to interact with you guys as well, whether it be on a live show like this or whether it be on a premiere show which goes out at midday here in the UK, and we do the live chat. It's mostly John or Kevin that will be doing that, and yeah, so we like to interact, we like to obviously keep you guys in the loop, and we obviously like to communicate with you guys as well. But we noticed that quite a few chats throughout the week was all about Aspirants and how people felt about it, the pacing issues. There was a few things that people spoke about in the community that were saying that they felt that, you know, it was a very slow burn experience, apart from the final episode, which they felt was a little bit rushed. I kind of sensed that as well. I felt, you know, that I was a little bit concerned for something that was going to be written so deeply, and was going to be a different pace to the likes of Quarter Factory. How were they going to accomplish this in 5 episodes? I had the sort of comfort blanket with Quarter Factory knowing that we had a season 2 to sort of deal with kind of loose ends and stuff like that, or a continuation, because it was a bit of a cliffhanger at the end. But with this being 5 episodes and 5 episodes only, I felt they've got a lot to cover, and we got to the 4th episode and they hadn't even explained certain things, you know, that in particular, you know, the characters of Abilash and Guri, how did they fall out? You know, we finally got that in the final episode. How did Guri and Daria meet? How did they, what was the attraction? We discussed this when we were obviously doing the reaction as well, in terms of does it really matter, you know, because it's human nature, people are attracted to each other and we don't really have to see the exposition in that, so kind of just accepted that. But we did understand, you know, obviously a few people were saying, you know, they felt the pacing was just a little bit slow, and but I thought it was good. I really did, I really enjoyed it, you know, and I thought 5 episodes was maybe a little bit short, but I respect, you know, getting in, getting out, telling a story and then moving on is part of and parcel of a good writing team and a good production, so you've just got to accept that, I suppose, you know. So in terms of cast, love the cast. This was our introduction to obviously Naveen Kasturia, I think his name is, pardon me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And we know that he's been in further things like pictures and stuff like that, so we're very intrigued to find out obviously more about this guy as well. And you know, the chap that played Guri, I'm going to butcher his name here, Shivankit Singh Paria. I don't know if that's how you say it, but again, excuse my pronunciation. And obviously the chap that played SK, who I thought was one of the more sort of underplayed characters. He was a man in the middle. It was like the middle child, if you like, from the tripod that was these three characters, you know, that were the sort of mainstay of the series, you know. But you put the Sandeep character, and we did recognise him. We knew that obviously Sonny Huja, Hindunja, I think is how you say his name, was obviously in The Family Man, and he's a great actor. And his screen time we felt was pretty limited, you know. But every moment he was on film meant something. He really hit the ground running, this guy. Fantastic actor. But there was other ones, you know. Obviously, the actress that played Daria, Namita Dubey, was fantastic as well. She was only in I think she was only in 4 episodes, but enough, you know, enough to get by. But great season. Really enjoyed it. Thanks again, obviously, for recommending that, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And before we move on to what we're going to be reacting to next week, I'm just going to read some of the comments from you guys, and then we will crack on with what we're here for. And first and foremost, Pathio1 says pictures next. It's on our list. Thanks very much. 97 pixel love heart. Love heart. I can never do those things, you know, the love heart thing. I can't do that. Is it something like that? Anyway, Satvik Segal says, or please, Azure please. I think that was obviously a typo. Yeah, Satvik, Azure is definitely on the list, and we are trying our best to get this. Pathio class is not worth it anyway. I don't know about that. I think I've got to disagree with you there. I think John and I think we're enjoying it so far, you know, and it's a bit of what would you call it? Reverse engineering, as all whodunits are, you know. And I think if I lost weight, no, I'll tell you what it is. I'm not as chubby looking as I look on the camera when we're doing reactions. It's a wide angled lens that John uses. We're both in the same room, and he splits the wide angle lens into 2 shots, so the 2 lenses are picking us up, which makes it wider. So I don't look as wide as that in real life, because I notice when we do the reactions, and I notice on the thumbnails, I'm looking a little bit more that way. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, doesn't matter. We'll move on. So anyway, Sapna says, don't waste your time. That's the post coming through the door, by the way. Don't waste your time on class. Well, we've actually just done 2 episodes of class. That was what I was going to get on to, sorry, before I was, you know, off talking about weight loss. Yeah, we're both enjoying it so far, and we like whodunits, you know, and we're very intrigued to see how this goes. A few people have recommended it. A lot of people have told us don't touch it, but it was actually a trailer reaction that John and I did months and months ago, and we went, that looks good, you know, give that a shot, maybe even if it's not even on camera, you know. But we decided, you know, a little bit of coaxing from some community member says, oh, just why don't you just do it anyway? If you're going to watch it, just put a camera in front of you and do it. So that's why we're doing it. It's not the sort of predominant web series we're reacting to anyway, so we'll put that out once a week and just see how it goes. But 97 Pixel says, what about Operation MBBS series? I'm not sure what that is, 97 Pixel, but certainly, you know, as we always do on this live chat every Friday, we will put it on the list. We will put it on the list. Sapna, you guys deserve more subs. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't hold a gun to people's heads and force them to click that subscribe button. You know, the way YouTube is set up, you don't have to subscribe to any channel to get this sort of content, unless it's obviously that membership thing, but we don't want to go down that road. Certainly don't want to charge people for coming in and watching content that's free, you know. And certainly, you know, in terms of a lot of the YouTube stuff that we react to, which is free for us, so it'd be absolute cheek if we were to go down that road. But we appreciate it, you know. I think the channel has came a long way in the last year or so. I think we were on about 10,000 subs this time last year, so 10,000 per year is not too bad, you know. I think the ultimate goal for us is to grow the channel as big as possible, but be realistic about it, you know. And Sapna, you're absolutely right, it would be great. Do we deserve it? Well, that's not really up for us to say, but One thing we would love is one of those YouTube plaques, you know, the thing we can put on our wall. We'd be very proud if we could get that to the 100k. A long way to go, you know, we'll just keep doing what we do and hopefully we get there. Yeah, hi Rick, how you doing? Yeah, that sofa looks comfy. Yeah, the chair, yeah, that's my chair. That's the chair I watch most of my TV and my films and stuff like that. And it's very comfy. Yeah, Joe Goldberg says, Azure please, it is on our list. Joe, we are certainly trying our best to get a hold of that. I hate chairs. Fair enough. Yeah, anyway, just moving on to our next comment, and it's versus hey fellas, amazing work on Aspirants. Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy. It speaks for itself. I think if the content that we're watching is very good, then it speaks for itself. You know, we just react to it and give our commentary. But I know a lot of people have put in the comment section, you know, that they don't obviously like us talking in between dialogue. I get that, you know, but when we're watching kind of drama, it's very hard to not talk or discuss things, you know, in the midst of things. And because we're doing it as sort of it's a live reaction for us, you know, we've not pre-recorded, we've not obviously seen the episode before. We don't know when things are going to come up that might be key to the plot and stuff like that. So it's very hard to sort of gauge that. We don't want to just sit there like this. You know, why? You know, that's not entertaining for you guys, and it's certainly not entertaining for us. But we try and cut down as best as possible. And you've got to remember what you're watching is an edited version of the video. There is long pauses where John and I will not speak while we're watching. And John being the editor, he will piece together what he thinks is the best sort of moments within that video to put in. So it looks like we're constantly talking, but we're not. You know, obviously, if the episode's on maybe for 40-45 minutes, then, you know, the video will last probably about an hour and 5 minutes. Obviously, after we've talked at the start, we've talked at the end, and then we cut it down to maybe 30-40 minutes. And you're seeing a condensed version of that, so it looks like we're talking all the time, but we're not. So, yeah. Turth Goswami says you can get access to Webseries not available to your location from audience through Telegram and stuff. We can share it if you want. Those guys, it's on you if you want it in that way or not. Yeah, thanks for that, Turth. Yeah, I mean, we put a poll out, or sorry, we put a question out. I think it was midweek where we were asking you guys where's the best place to access stuff, you know, and you suggested some apps and stuff, and that's why it's opened up, you know, possibilities for us to do 3 web series, you know, simultaneously. So we'll talk about that in a little moment, but thanks again for that. And certainly our email address is movieburnerentertainment@gmail.com, and if you've got any suggestions on how to access stuff, please just fire it into an email and we'll have a look at it, you know. Sapna says TVS humorously yours and AIB honest videos. Abe honest videos. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think being Scottish, we're very similar to Irish people in that sense, where we have that kind of sense of humour every day of the week, you know, and every minute of the day. And it's just kind of sometimes spills over to the video and we can act silly at times. And sometimes you don't see some of the stuff that we talk about because it may be a little bit too far. But it's just one of those things. It's just in our nature to sort of, you know, be humorous at times. But we do our best to try and concentrate and act serious when we have to. Shrinavis Swami says The Glory. I'm not sure what that is. Perhaps maybe you can drop a comment and let us know. Is that a web series? Is that a film? I'm not really sure. Versi says some shows like Aspirants, you got to soak in the dialogues and the silence and soak in the emotions at times, which can get lost with talking. But good job, fellas. No, thanks very much for that. No, we totally understand that. From your perspective, it can look quite annoying and irritating, and you can be sitting there going, I wish those two guys would shut up, you know, and just take it in. And we take in as much as we can, and, you know, I think probably in percentage wise, probably about 90% of the time we understand what's going on. I missed a couple of things. Obviously, the Daria character, I was confusing her with the girlfriend in Aspirants, for the girlfriend from 2012, and I was just I totally lost the plot. But that was nothing to do with concentration or anything like that. I think it was just lost in translation with me. By the next episode, I totally got it, you know. But it's just one of those things. Rake, right, Rake, you're talking to Tuth. That's okay. That is illegal. Yeah, I mean, we don't want anything obviously that's not, you know, legit, because it could lead to the channel getting shut down. What we mean is, if you've got links to legit streaming platforms or whatever, we very much appreciate that. Thanks very much. Verses says you should do TVS pictures, look into Azure. We are looking into them. Thanks very much, Verses, for that. I'm saying Verses, is it VS? Verses, I'm not sure. Sanjeev Ghosh says Flames, another one, I'm not sure what that is. Sanjeev, if you could perhaps maybe let us know if it's a web series, if it's a film, where it's available. We certainly put it on our list of things to come. Tough Goswami says thanks for reminding. Yeah, okay, I think that's directed at Rake. Yeah, and just having a little look at more of the comments here, guys. Sixo So says college romance. Not sure what that is again. If you can maybe drop us a description on what that is. We'll certainly look it up, you know, but it's always good to know what we're getting into. But certainly we'll have on the list if it is a web series or a film. Prakash Twain says Gulak next. Gulak's a tricky one, you know, try to get a hold of that. We know that season 1 is available on YouTube, but it doesn't have English subtitles, and we know that there is a few series, so we'd rather know that we're going to have something in its entirety rather than just doing series 1 and then we can't find series 2 anywhere. You know, I think being a completist myself, you know, it would really annoy me if I couldn't get a hold of season 2. Flames is a teen rom-com. Thanks, Sanjeev. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll certainly listen. Quota Factory is definitely out my age range. I'm nearly 50 years old, so you know, Quota Factory was, you know, teens, late teens, you know, so when it comes to teen stuff, you know, as long as it's good quality, good writing, then I'll watch it. It doesn't matter about the age. I'm not an ageist, and I certainly hope you guys aren't either. I've just revealed my age. But yeah, Gulak next, yeah, Prakash, yeah. Shekwarat says MBBS series is a pretty good one. Yeah, mentioned earlier, thanks very much for that. Rick says, have you guys watched The Boys? Now, this is one of the reasons we've not reacted to The Boys, which I think is on Prime, is because John went off and watched season 1 himself without telling me. I'm throwing you under the bus here, John. And I didn't get to see it. I was just going to watch it after he watched it. So he's seen season 1, I've not seen it at all. I mean, I could do a solo reaction on it, I suppose, but it's not, I always prefer, you know, John being there. John prefers me being there because we like to bounce our reactions off each other rather than a solo reaction. But it might be something further down the line we might do in terms of maybe the further seasons on. But you'd have to do season 1 as well, wouldn't you? But anyway, Marit Yunj says try Azure. Yeah, certainly on our list. Thanks very much for that. Shikwarit says be more regular, guys. Well, we're here every day. I can't be any more regular than that other than to give up my job. I'm actually on my lunch break just now. I have to put that disclaimer out there just now. I'm on my lunch break and I need to get back to work very soon. But it's really just about timing. John and I work both full time, so it's very difficult to put any more than we're already putting out at the moment. Certainly we would like to do that and be more regular, but it would, if we can get to the 100k subscriber mark and have a massive community, John would be able to step in and do this as a full-time thing, you know, and I certainly would continue doing it the way I'm doing it, part-time I suppose you call that, isn't it? But yeah, VS says keep the discussion small though. You guys can't go on a tangent at times. Oh, we certainly do go on tangents. We try and rein it in as best as possible. You should see the uncut versions at times. Tangents galore, I'm telling you. It's horrendous. But yeah. But Greenwich Lewis says Jubilee. Again, not sure what that is, Greenwich, but if you can let us know in the comment section, it'd be appreciated. Thanks very much for your comment. Peace says, love your reactions, keep on doing the great work. Thanks very much, Peace. Yeah, we're certainly enjoying doing what we do in the channel, and we certainly want to do more. Great content for you guys. Thoroughly enjoying it. This is a great journey for us. Certainly over the last 5 months or so since the start of the year, the channel's really picked up. We want to continue doing that. We want to continue giving you guys good content, and the content that you are obviously suggesting to us is appreciated. So thanks very much for that piece. Maritunja says, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name here. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. Be relieved, it's not about pleasing us. It's just what we like seeing you enjoy any kind of show. Good luck, good look. Thanks very much for that. It certainly is, and we're trying to do that balance where we want to do what we want to do. A bit of self-indulgence at times. Certainly with class, we decided to do that. But obviously, the community is a big thing for us. It's important that we can learn from you guys, and especially what we want to do on the channel relies heavily on what you would like us to do as well, and it doesn't mean that we're going to become performing monkeys or anything like that, but what I mean is we weren't aware of the Panchayats, Aspirants, Quota Factory, the Family Man, Mirzapur, the list goes on. We would not know these shows unless we did some more research, I suppose, and came up, with the sort of, you may like this kind of thing that you get on Netflix or Prime Video. That would be the only way that we would know good stuff from the bad stuff, I suppose. But that's why we rely, and we obviously appreciate you guys doing some more suggestions for us, because it keeps the channel going as well, and we know that it's what you guys want. So availability obviously comes into, here in the UK we're very limited to what we can get a hold of at times, but hence why we put the post out earlier this week to see how we can access certain things on certain apps and stuff like that. So yeah, it seems to be working. But anyway, just going to get back to these comments just now. P says permanent roommates will be perfect, as it's very different from what you've already reacted to. Permanent roommates is also from TVS Staple. Yeah, we've got that in the list. There was another one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I know one of the girls from Quota Factory is in it. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but certainly I think it's on Prime, might be Netflix. I'm not sure. If it comes into my head, I will certainly say what it is. But that was getting bandied about last week as well. Azure is a work inspired from an anime known as Monster, which is a pretty big shot. I didn't know that. There you are. Didn't know that. Thanks very much for that. Again, Azure is one that's very highly anticipated for us, and we hope that we can get hold of it so we can put it out as a reaction, because it sounds incredible, and certainly we know that a lot of people in the community want this. Says complete class reaction. Yeah, we will. We'll not stop doing that. That'll be once a week though, and we hope that obviously you guys are enjoying the reaction. If you don't particularly like the show, come in for the reaction. Make a cup of tea and sit and watch it with us anyway. And we'll be on the live chat because that's what it's all about. Sanjeev says Flames is TVS original web series. Right, okay, thanks very much for that, Sanjeev. Keep that in mind, Flames. I know a couple of people have recommended that already, so we'll keep that in mind. Thanks very much. Shikwarat says, yeah, please. Okay. Sai says, complete class reaction. Yep, I think that's just a copied and paste job there. Thanks very much. Siriam says, Azure Bandish Bandits. Again, it'll be on the list. Thanks very much for that. Marichunja says, Azure is not a series where you would feel much of the culture gap, unlike Quota Factory, Flames, Gulag and others. It's certainly worth a watch. Thank you very much for that. Siriam says Azure as well. I'm telling you, we're desperate to see this. We really are desperate to see this. Say says complete class reaction again. We will, certainly will. Say thanks for your comments. Siriam says Azure, Bandish Bandits, both are awesome. Thanks very much for that. Soham says TV pictures, please, please, please. And Shikwarit says Jubilee web series. Jubilee's come up as well on our list, so we're going to have that on our list for watching as well. Thanks very much for that. Russia says watch Criminal Justice, it's really good. Again, we'll put it on the list. Thanks very much again for your recommendation. And Siriam again says Azure and Bandits. It doesn't matter how many times you say it, guys. We will put it down on our list, and we certainly will give it a shot if we can get a hold of it. So really appreciate obviously the comments. Steve Rogers, you're not the Steve Rogers, are you? Captain America. Says Azure. We'll certainly will put that down there, Cap. Thanks very much. And Game Dev says, love from India. Are you planning on YouTube skits and videos for examples? BBK Vines and Ashish Shan Shali Vines. I'm not sure what that is, but what I'll do is, Game Dev, I'll keep a note of that and check that out, because we are looking for different things to do on the channel other than just reactions. We do a live movie entertainment news show every Monday and Tuesday, and we do this live thing we're doing just now. But apart from doing the sort of reactions, we've kind of slowed down on our reviews at the moment because we're watching so much web series content. We've not really time to watch films and stuff like that, but we want to try and get back to sort of doing a review format as well when we get time, you know. So certainly check those out. Thanks very much for that. Greenwich Lewis says, if you guys ever come to Mumbai, I'll take you to the TV office. The guys there are awesome. Oh, that would be incredible. It really would. Thanks very much for that, Greenwich. TVF for us is fantastic studio. I think they're just forward thinking in terms of what they're putting out there, you know. There's always that sort of social message in the web series, certainly what we've watched so far. And they're taking real life, you know, stuff, and taking real life events and things like that, just everyday stuff, but making it interesting. And it's always through the characters they make it interesting, you know. There's just something about what they do. It's fantastic. It's just, I'm always attached and attracted to the characters, and you know, I care for them. And I know John's the same. We talk about it after we film, you know. And not Abhilash, sorry, big man from Panchayat, can't remember his name now, lost his son. That one was, you know, stayed with us after we stopped the cameras rolling, and it was really emotional, you know. It was really upsetting to see that. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. We just think the TVF guys are switched on. Game Dev says, we would love your Indian visit. Yeah, I know that I sometimes watch Jabby Koi, and I know that he visits India on a regular basis, and I'm quite envious of that fact, you know, that he can do that. You know, certainly it's something that John and I would love to do. We like the culture, we like the music. Socially, it kind of it connects with us. Obviously, the sort of society issues and stuff like that, it's very similar to obviously, you know, us guys here in Scotland. And definitely the food's exquisite, you know. We both try and make Indian food as much as possible. There could be an idea, we could do a little sort of cooking video, and you guys can laugh at how unauthentic your cooking is. So yeah, I mean, definitely would love to go. Legend says, Matt Say Canned, available on MX Player with English subtitles, and Chic Warrett says Jubilee. Just before I read some more of the comments, I think I've kept you guys waiting long enough here. This is not fair. First and foremost, the first reaction we're going to be doing next week, I'm saying the first, we're going to be recording these sort of simultaneously, so it really depends what goes out first. It depends what's ready in terms of editing. I'll leave that to John, but it'll be all next week anyway. We'll announce the sort of running order of what it will be. So you already know about Class. That's the first one. That'll be going out at the weekend on our Patreon first, and then on YouTube. Excuse me. And we're going to do a follow-up, and most of you guys will know obviously the follow-up to Aspirants with the 3 characters. It's SK, Sir, Key, Class. And we know it's only 3 episodes. It's rated 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and it follows the SK character, I think, predominantly, which I'm happy about, because I always felt he was a bit of a pig in the middle in Aspirants. It's only 3 episodes, as we say. I think they're very short, half-hour long or something like that. So there's 3 episodes of that we want to get out of the way, because obviously you have Abhilash Tapaya, I think that's how you say his name, the SK character in there. And Guri's in there as well, and Abhilash. We know that we don't expect them to be front and centre. This looks like it's an SK sort of focused series, and we don't expect Guri and Abhilash to be predominantly in and around there. Just looking obviously at the sort of top billing, it doesn't look that way, but it's intriguing anyway. And I've read the synopsis in terms of what it's about. It's often said that the UPSC is not a race but a marathon that prepares you for life. Will Ashi succeed in winning the marathon of his life under the guidance of SK Sir and his lessons of patience, perseverance and dedication? Well, that was one of the things I liked about the SK character. You know, he was a very patient guy, a very positive thinking guy as well, that was stuck in the middle between these two other conflicting characters. So that's going to be next week. We're looking forward to it. So SK Sir Key Class, 3 episodes of that. No, I don't know if anyone's recommended it. They might have. Maybe John's dealt with the comment and responded to it. That's probably why I've not seen it. So I can't say for sure if anybody actually did mention it. But that's just a bonus. The main one, and this is the one I'm sure most of you guys will be happy about for next week, is TVFs Pictures. We've got it. We got it, guys. TVF Pictures, all 10 episodes, thanks to Z5's app. So we will be getting that. We will be putting that out. 40-minute episodes, roughly, isn't it? 10 episodes, and they'll all be going out next week. So, from next week until we obviously finish it. And we will be doing our best to make sure that we get them out every day at the same time for, obviously, continuity. Now, a couple of the things I want to talk about in this web series before I sign off, because I need to get back to work in the next 10 minutes, is we've obviously got Naveen Kasturia in there once more. Looking forward to seeing him. We know that he's in all 10 episodes, which is fantastic. There's some other faces in there we've seen. I think the Suki character was in an episode of Quota Factory, I'm pretty sure. I know his face. Jasmeet Singh Bhatia. I'm pretty sure he was in an episode because I saw his face. Jitendra Kumar, we know that he's in this, but he's only in the first season. He's only in 5 episodes. I don't want to know the reason why he's not in season 2, so please do not spoil this for us. But the question I want to ask you guys is, season 1 was in 2015. Why was season 2 in 2022? Why was there a 7-year gap between both seasons? That is a long time. Certainly for, obviously, the content we've been watching from India in terms of web series. A 7-year gap between both seasons is a big gap. So we'd like to know, maybe you can drop a comment in and let us know the reason why it took so long to do that second season. But certainly we are looking forward to it. We're looking forward to Pictures. It's certainly something that we've been looking into for the past couple of months now, and we finally managed to get it. We got it on the Z5 app, and it's not premium content, so it doesn't cost anything. All we've got to do is obviously sign up to the app, and we're able to access it from there. So thanks again, guys, for obviously recommending TVF Pictures. 9.1 out of 10. That's highly rated, so we're looking forward to that. A good cast in there and fantastic. But I'm going to sign off now anyway, guys. Just read a couple more comments and then we'll move on. So Yash says, go for tripping and permanent roommates from the House of TVF. Certainly on our list. Thanks very much for that. Ponniyin Selvan 1 movie. That's been recommended to us quite a few times over the last few months. We've certainly got that on the list. Thanks a lot for that. Fan movie burner. If you save some time reacting, some movies will definitely help the channel grow. A massive audience seeks for this. Yeah, totally agree. We are looking into it. Thanks very much for that. P says sex chat with Papu and Papa will be very different from what you've seen, even if any of the English series. Okay, yeah, thanks for that piece. Rajesh says, hope you're taking some rest as well, because reacting back to back can burn you guys out as well. Yeah, we are. I mean, we're not really doing too much else other than that anyway, so we certainly will. I think when we start to feel the sort of the burnout, I think particularly for John, because John doesn't just do the reaction, he's doing the editing as well, so he's going in and watching what he's already watched, and obviously sometimes if it gets copyrighted he's got to get in and watch it again to cut it down even more. So we talk about that all the time just to see how we're feeling, and you know, if we maybe need a week's break or something like that. But at the moment we'll just keep doing what we're doing because we're enjoying it. Thanks very much anyway for that, Rajesh, thanks. Sartak says, reaction on Class, more episodes. Yeah, certainly are coming. They are coming. Once a week though. Once a week, but they are coming. Yeah, it seems to be everyone seems to be quite happy with the fact we're doing pictures next week, but obviously we're doing SK Sir Key Class as well, so that's in there as well. So thanks very much again, obviously, for your comments. Thanks for coming in today as well. And remember, guys, our Patreon, I'm going to put the link in below, and there is a link on our channel as well, is where you will see our reactions first and foremost before they drop on YouTube. So you click on that link, you can sign up to that, you get access to it before it even hits YouTube. So just thought I'd put that in there. But thanks again. I'm going to sign off now and just hit this little sort of go offline button. Very unprofessional, reaching across to the camera, but I will get a better setup in this bit. I will get a mic as well, so it's better sound quality as well. So thanks again, guys, for joining us today. We will be back again over the weekend for our episode 2 of Class Reaction, but next week from Monday you will get to see SK Sir Key Class and TVFs pictures. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you later. Thank you.